bucketing down. Have a look around.
So we're in this abandoned servo here at the moment.
The servo's only got a punch in the wall.
Yeah. And why are we pulled up in here at the moment?
We pulled up in here because Dave's bike is allergic to water.
Yeah, it's fucking shit.
He got some silicone spray from old mate down the road. We just cleaned off the plug lead and everything. And hopefully a skid to squirt. So hopefully we can get down the road and stop putting out. But we're heading down to Burke. Hopefully our package of tyres and other parts has arrived. And stay tuned.
So this water issue with the bike is really starting to get annoying. We made it as far as that puddle over there and killed it. So we've drained. It ran actually okay with the choke on, weirdly. So we've drained the plug where the fuel filter is, and doesn't seem to be any water in there, although there's a fair bit of shit. But eventually just going to trim the end off this spark plug lead and reinstall the cap, and hopefully that might make a difference. So the bike's back to idling like it should, so maybe that's worked.
I've also cleaned the spark plug lead right back and rerouted it.
Yeah.
So hopefully, just in case there's any gremlins.
But it's just started pouring down again, so it'll be the moment of truth to test it out. So it's a very wet morning.
Very wet.
And we've just made it to the New South Wales border, and I couldn't even tell you what it's doing. Playing with its dick. And he's walking.
It's a fucking goose.
Isn't it? It's border jumping. So we've just got to Burke and picked up our parts, so it's worked out really well that they were in, otherwise we would have had to wait till Friday. So we just got to, Mark's just sussing out where we can stay, and we've got to swap all this over and then start heading south. The decision has been made, now that we have the tyres, that we're just going to keep going through Burke, and that we'll change them on the side of the road just outside of town somewhere. Just on the side of the road, changing this tyre, got the bike propped up on the corner of this concrete, which was Mark's idea, which has worked out perfect. So just in the process of taking the wheel off and get this tyre changed out. The flies are super friendly here, so we'll get into it. So we have the wheel out, Vince is just now pulling out the valve. We'll start working this tyre off.
You're a pisser.
while I was putting on the nice shiny lever, Venchi's managed to get this rear tyre on the rim and is now fitting it back to the bike.
The chain should be adjusted right.
So the professor's just making his last final adjustments, tighten up that axle nut, and that's going to be job done. Like a boss.
Like a bowl.
Here's mine finished up with the brand new tyre. About to make a start on Mark's, so size does matter.
Oh,
Yes, it's right.
And she's just trying to poke the valve through the rim. We're on to bike number 2, just putting the tube and the new tyre on. So there's a good look at the tyre that's just come off. This is Mark's bike.
Fish is going in. Just got to be careful not to get the tread. Valve back in. Compressor. Rechargeable. Already got a preset. Maybe. Hang on. Got it on. Just wait this back on.
So that's bike number 2 done. That's got the new tyre on the rear and a new chain as well. Venchi's just doing the final adjustments to the rear brakes, and we'll be on to bike number 3. Just changing out Mark's front brake cable. Just had it pulled out, so we're just going to about to run the new one in when I find it. But here's Venchi's 3 strands of shark trace that worked well up until now. So we've got the new cable, so we'll replace it. But this is the other end that he soldered on. So we've done the job, but time for the new one. New brake cable installed on Mark's bike, while Venchi's just fitting off the last tyre now. How's you looking, V-Man?
All about, just about done. I just need a 10mm spanner.
An example of how friendly the flies are out here. Finished all our repairs and maintenance, so just packing up final stuff, strapping things down, and we'll hit the road. Just found out there's a festival in Cobar, so accommodation's slim, so we don't know what we're going to do yet. Off to Cobar now, but I don't think there's going to be accommodation, so it looks like it might be a side of the road job tonight, so we'll wait and see how we go.
All right, so it's the end of day 21. We're about 100 clicks short of Cobar, as you can see in the beaten off the road track. Today, I think we did about 320, 330 Ks, but we were lucky enough when we got to Burke, the parcels that we ordered did arrive today. So we weren't stuck in Burke. So we decided to pick those up and do a bit of a
dash
off the beaten track repair, which Benchy will go through, which was a fair bit of work for you.
Yeah, changed 3 tyres out in one of the stops back there, so as we could dispose of the tyres. Clutch, no, not clutch. Soapy. Brake lever, and the pivot pin. What else was there?
Brake cable.
Brake cable and a chain. So we did all that in about an hour and a half.
So I think we're good to get home. Just got to do an oil change.
Just got to do an oil change, probably in Cobar, where we can dispose of the oil correctly.
Where there's a festival, we've been told.
Yeah, so all the accommodation was booked out. So hence we're stuck here, out in the boonies.
Nah, not at all. I'd say medium.
You should get expert cook then.
Benchy cooking up some, what is it, Benchy? Carbonara. Carbonara. We've got some sort of soup cooking in this pot here. Should be alright. So just cooking dinner. Just got the goats walking through our camp. Near camp, I'm not sure if that's going to come up on the camera. Oh, that goat is. That fucking billy goat. Packing up camp early on day 22. Mark's had to load his block up for the second time, left the old phone in the swag trick, and Venchy's just running standard time. Our plan this morning is that we have no plan. We're going to drive to Cobar, get reception. We'll look at the maps from there and then decide where we might end up. Also grab something to eat and stuff like that too. So it's a pretty cool spot. We've had goats pretty much walking through camp since we arrived, so it's pretty cool. Venchy's not scaring them off. So we arrived here in Cobar. It was a wet ride coming in. So longest 100k so far, I reckon. But we're here now. I've lost a heaps of GoPro footage because it was pissing rain.
half a litre.
Just doing some top ups. Forgot about it this morning.
Do I need to extract the manifold first?
For you.
Thanks, mate.
Good boy.
It's day number 22. We woke up 100 k's out of Cobar this morning. It was a long ride, it was shit snotty weather, so had to deal with that. We got full fuel from there, and then where did we go to after that, Benji?
Hillston. Made it down to Hillston. That was, what was it, 260 k's or something
Yeah,
like
something
that.
like that.
That was a lot better. It was in and out of cloud, and a bit warmer, so much nicer ride, more pleasant.
And we've finished off at Gulgari at the pub here. We've got accommodation for the night. I believe we're under 800 kilometres to the finish line. Not 100% sure, but I believe it's under 800 because we're not exactly sure on what route we're taking yet, but everything's going very well, and hopefully we'll arrive this weekend in the prom. So don't want to jinx anything, but we'll see how we go. So it's the morning of the 23rd. We're very well rested up. We stayed here at the Royal Mail Hotel in Gulgari. Awesome place to get a meal. I got a barbecue meat lovers pizza. It was absolutely spot on. Mark, what'd you have? Palmer. Thumbs up for the meals. And the beds were even better, so we got well rested. We're going to make an early start today. What's the first town we're getting to? Griffith. Get some fuel from there and then get on with it. But we'll see you on the road. We are here at Gulgari. This is the stable and lockup. We've got our bikes parked at the front of this. Is where Ned Kelly held up 2 police officers, and they, him and his gang took over the town, I believe it is. But this town is famous for the Gulgari letter that Ned Kelly wrote. It's worth checking out. It's actually tucked away. I just saw the sign out the corner of my eye as I pulled in. So Billabong Creek's out the back here, but it's just behind the sports centre. It's worth coming back here and taking a bit of a look. It's pretty cool.